is Console Wars the card game. Featuring more famous video games than you can shake a stick at, Console Wars finally allows you to win a war you've been fighting and probably losing on the internet your entire life. Quit being a keyboard warrior with the warm embrace of anonymity to protect you. Now you and your friends can fight on the front lines, battling for incredible franchises, exclusivity, and eventual victory. Collect some of the most famous video game franchises of all time. Protect them with loyal and frighteningly dedicated fans. Brave the volatile video game industry and claim the ultimate victory in the console wars. Your favorite video game making mega corporation needs you. Enlist today. Head to consolewarsgame.com. Pick up a copy of Console Wars the card game, outshine your rivals, and prove that your platform reigns supreme. Out now. This is Xbox Era. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the Xbox Era podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/Xbox Era. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Everything Xbox Era does is only made possible by the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our MVPs and executive producers are all incredible people, but even more so are our grand benefactors, Croat56, Assassin, and Kevin S. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely and benevolent CEO, Torn Raptor. If you want to become part of one of the best communities on the internet, head to patreon.com/Xbox Era, where your patronage can help keep us alive for another month. Hello, friends, and welcome to Headlines, Xbox Era's twice weekly show that covers all of the latest and greatest in news from across the video game industry. In the spirit of this industry, we talk about all of the platforms, so no matter where you play, you can catch up on the latest and greatest. Today's date is August 28th, 2025. I'm your host, John, and joining me, as always, is our reviews editor, Jesse Norris.
Hello.
Who's poorly and probably lacking in energy
I'm
today,
a lot better today.
No.
I'm good.
There you
Look,
go.
I even have a hilarious Skittles-flavored energy drink. Why not?
Yeah.
It's good. It's like fruit punch.
Okay. All right. I'll let you have that one.
It's
as
a
a
light
heads
flavor.
up.
It's not like super sour or anything. So there you go.
Okay, good.
Okay, my cat keeps turning the music up on my Go XLR. Let me get that down a little.
As a heads up and a bonus for our wonderful patrons, we make audio versions of these episodes available for them to listen to in Patreon in their preferred podcast app. But if they're on Spotify, you can link your account and listen to it there instead. If you want to become a Patreon legend, head over to patreon.com/Xbox Era, where you can support us directly. And we're celebrating today because we've hit 30,000 YouTube subscribers. And I'm going to take a moment because as outside of thanking our own team, our existing community, who are all amazing, we have to give a genuine shout out to the Helldivers. Because, and look, I've shared this detail, the Helldivers crew, we did our review on the Xbox version, and the Helldivers community have come in and they've started commenting and watching, and I've never seen a more positively filled comment section on YouTube.
I deleted a lot.
Well, okay, I've never seen.
So they were so bad they didn't make it there, so you probably never saw them if you didn't go into the moderation queue. It was only like, I don't know, 70 or 80.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. For the most part, that community has been absolutely brilliant. Sharing the love, sharing the games, and just generally being cool. And that's great. So big thank you to those guys.
Oh, wrong one.
And we hope that
There we go.
you enjoyed the review.
This is from Mohammed Sherez.
Yeah. Thank you, Mohammed Sherez, for dropping 10 Xbox Era gift memberships for people
And a super
that
chat.
may be watching. I had a super chat that says, congrats on 30k memberships for everyone. Well, for 10 people. All right, let's calm down, Sherez, yeah?
We don't have that many viewers, so
appreciate
it's most people.
Yeah, fair.
We build slowly throughout the show, generally.
Well, that's one of the comments, right? Is that throughout our journey to this milestone, we have elected to never chase anger. We've elected to speak fairly on all issues, and just to share the news as it is, and not to color it with rage or to make you angry, just to inform you. And while that is slower growth, I feel like the community that we've built is one of the best on the internet. So thank you to everybody that's hanging out. And congrats to Deadly Headley, Creed and Eve, Amit Kumar, Painful Discourse, Crislow, Cody, Brad Graves, AJH, Roble Snacks, Blunt Object for getting a membership.
Yeah, and also Deadly Headley for hanging out with us this upcoming Saturday because Nick had some personal stuff come up and he's pulling a John.
Oh.
Did he not tell you?
Short notice. No, he neglected to mention that.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
fine.
I'm pretty sure his DMs.
I love hanging out with Deadly Headley.
Yeah, so the thing we had talked about earlier with Nick has him not in the mood so much and unable to attend. But he did message. You guys always message me, and you never message each other when one of you is going to be out.
He messaged me. I've spoken. I think we messaged you because you're the producer and arguably the organizer of us.
You never seem to know that the other one's going to be out.
Yeah, I did not know that until now. But that's fine. That's cool. It's a shame because it would have been good to chat games with Matt,
we've only done it. We only did it once for the entirety of August. Well, all three of us were there.
Crazy. But hey, before we dive into the news, is there a lot of news? There is a lot of news, but our onslaught of preview content has continued. There is a brand new Scott Pilgrim EX hands-on preview from the lovely art and design lead at Xbox Era Pre-Drag, who got to try out the game at Gamescom. We have a Skate, the reboot hands-on preview from Gyozo Baki,
who is one of the busiest boys in all of games coverage right now. He's working on Hell Is Us and Metal Eden, and just put out the Nightling, and has other things, and and was doing the Skate preview. But yeah, we dropped. Outside of being amazing at the art, went and played the games, and he really liked Scott Pilgrim. He was way into it. But if you go on
it looks fun.
Our website right now, there is too much. You keep doing news nonstop. There's just tons of reviews and previews from everyone, including a lot of you. You'll be doing Super Meat Boy today. Your Helldivers one is now your biggest review ever. It's 34,000 or something.
34 now? Wow,
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see.
Mm-hmm. That's why I got so many. So yeah, 30. It is at current numbers, 34.0 thousand. Congratulations. Wow. You're catching up to my, for some reason, people thought it was tied to Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 2, but not, it was Dark Alliance, the awful over-the-top isometric one, I think had been our previous biggest, which is at 51.3 thousand. Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance 2. So if your biggest video ever is your MechWarrior 5 Clans preview, which absolutely crushed your review, just like me with our biggest, our own produced video ever of still being Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course, which did 95,000 views in one day and has only done 2,000 since. It's at 97K. Wow. It's always weird to me.
That's crazy. That is weird.
And then the review did about 500.
That is the way of things with the internet. Shout out to Gyozo. He did Skate. There's the Nightling also available to read. That review is out on xboxera.com right now. In terms of video and written content, we have a preview for a Steam Early Access game called The Last Caretaker, which I'm not going to wax lyrical or go into huge amounts of details, but it was one of the most intriguing things I played at Gamescom. You play as a robot whose job is to nurture the seeds of humanity to ensure our survival in a world where the polar ice caps have melted, there is no more land, and you are exploring this vast ocean, which seems to be infested with something, and you've got to collect all the bits and look after yourself. And the cool element of it is, no, I think they're more animated than plastic, but
animated
cool
microplastics.
When in most survival games you're managing your hunger, your thirst, your cold, whatever, in this you're a robot, so you don't get hungry or thirsty, but you do have an energy level and a vitality level, which is the overall condition of your chassis, right? And you can plug yourself in to batteries from across the world, but equally, if you need to like power a gun, you can plug the gun into you and use your own energy as a kind of ammunition resource. And equally, you can power things from yourself depending upon how powered up you are. It became rather endearing. The world is very interesting. The story is very interesting. This is from
it's just like his original game, very similar.
Well, this is the funny thing. This is from a developer named Channel 37, and what I found curious was when I heard that this was going to be there and we were invited to check it out, the guy who is on the development team was responsible for Trials HD, right? And the Trials sequel back in the good old days of the Xbox Live Arcade system. And I'm expecting like some super challenging, side-scrolling thing. And instead I've come into this open world, single-player, story-driven, absolutely gorgeous survival game, which is current to Steam Early Access this year. No date yet, I don't believe. And is consoles later. And it's not what I expected. And it was super, super pretty. Very, very intriguing. I will say, I did say to the developers, is multiplayer planned? Because for my buck, I like to survive with friends. If I'm playing those sorts of games, they're always made imminently better by people working together to gather resources and things of that nature. And currently, no. But, they're listening to player
people
feedback.
Just modded co-op into Spider-Man on PC, so I'm sure they'll figure this out.
I saw this. Yeah. But yeah, Finnish developer. I can't remember his name, which is absolutely terrible of me. I've got it in my notes somewhere, but they're not to hand right this second. But yeah, and then I've played this as well, but you got to do a little preview of an upcoming Xbox Game Pass Obsidian extravaganza.
Well, I don't think the audience cares. No one watched it.
It's crazy to me that so many people don't watch stuff nowadays. But
that hasn't even hit $1,000. But yep, we both got to play the prologue of The Outer Worlds 2. It's like the first time you go through it, maybe an hour. I saw the Iron Lord say that we played the first few hours. It's like, holy shit, how did you find that much to do? It's just the prologue, so while there are choices, they're generally just different ways to get to the few options that are available. Like, I had to fight these robots. I didn't have to fight these robots. I was able to talk this guy into lowering the bridge. I was not able to talk this guy into just lowering the bridge. He called over enemies when he did it. Because it is a prologue, you make your character, you go through, you're getting to the setup. So you can't change too much. So I did see some people say, oh, it's like the choice don't matter. It's like, well, no, you're getting to the very beginning of the story. If you immediately started branching, that means you need to change the entire setup and like quadruple your scope. And then that's the thing we're all trying to get away from. Super pretty, plays really well, continues Obsidian's upward trend. One of the only responses to it was, when was the last time Obsidian had a hit? And I asked them if they had been dropped on their head a lot as a kid, because Obsidian has been killing it lately, and this one seems like a massive improvement over the first. Like, pretty much everywhere you hope it would go. When a lot of times I call it like pulling the Mass Effect 2 or so many of those games where it's like you have all these ideas and then they really coalesce in the sequel, and that's what this feels like.
Yep, and I have to give a shout out as someone who actually finished an RPG, Avowed. I finished it, and I know everyone will be like, it's not a proper RPG. Whatever,
it is.
Fuck you. I finished the game, and I really liked it. And one of the things I especially loved, and I think that Obsidian have done an incredible job with, is how it feels to move and engage in their worlds. And The Outer Worlds 2 has that same snappy, I can vault over stuff, I can slide into combat feeling that makes a good...
Yeah, you don't have to spec into it, which used to suck because then you'd be really bad at other stuff. So you just had bad feeling movement in a lot of games, especially RPGs like this, where it's full you're not doing the stat thing that I saw, but you've got your perks and you've got your background and you got your things that really matter. But you're pretty much always able to do at least the basics of everything, without having to spec into them. Like the specking was, I can do lockpicking, I can do hacking, I'm good at speech. Like, and those are just challenge checks on things in the world or in conversations, and that's it. As far as the base gameplay goes, it's always good. You just might be able to do a little more damage or be a little more accurate if you spec that way.
Yeah. But yeah, it is gorgeous as well. I have to admit, I thoroughly dislike it when anyone on the team uses a feature image that has any text on it whatsoever. I try and if I spot it, I immediately go in and edit in a nicer image. And when yours had gone live, I was currently playing it because I was like, I need to play this so I can talk about it with some knowledge. And I took just a nice, beautiful ultra-wide screenshot of one of the opening shots as they're coming into a planet. And I quickly swapped out your feature image just because I'm a jerk. But God, it's so pretty.
When it's an RPG, showing the RPGness of it seems right to me.
I mean, you had that screenshot again embedded in the thing, but it's beautiful. Just accept
I hate ultra wide, so I don't care.
Ultra
wide
is
okay garbage.
To be wrong. Bullshit.
When it comes to having things on the internet, the 3% of you that might have, the 0.3% of you globally that have ultra wide will go, yay, it fits my monitor. But for everyone else, we just get black bars.
Yeah, suck it up. Anyways, that's some of the content. Later on today, I will be putting out a Super Meat Boy 3D hands-on preview and some thoughts.
Super Meat Boy 3D.
Yes. That's exactly what I mean. So I will put that out later on today once I've got around to it. And you can look forward to our first piece from a new member of the team, which we announced on the community Discord. We're going to try and do like a town hall so that people can get to know them. I think I'm self-conscious or conscious of the fact that if you're coming into an established team like ours who have been working together for years and you're a new voice, like that can be jarring for the community. It could be jarring for the person joining and the rest of the team.
And
is
it's
like,
gone so well in the past.
But we're pretty confident about this new addition. Lovely chap and another Australian named, don't hold it against him, named Steve Allen. He's going to be
our CEO is Australian. I can't.
Yeah, it's going to be doing some previews, some videos, some thought pieces. He's an all-rounder. It's another video editor for the team, which is like a godsend for us. And
we
another
technically have
kind of
4, which is more than most major websites.
Do you know what? That is the one thing after looking at everybody else in this space after this week, and I'm like, man, no offense, rest of the gaming media journalism sphere, we fucking crushed it, and we were a tiny team. We did. All right, I'm gonna blow smoke up our own ass. We absolutely smashed it in terms of quality of content, in terms of preview videos. In terms
I think
of
even the
our
little
community what they want.
Last week's podcast, pretty goddamn impressive for being just in our Airbnb and just having pre-drag there and immediately making that ridiculous thumbnail didn't hurt. I know we did want to go back in and put footage over everything, but then it would have taken 3 days to come out instead of that night. But I don't know. Even with the little dildo on our table, the dildo fable sword, I think this looks
that's not
good.
fable. I don't know why you call it a fable.
Dildo
sword.
Pirate sword.
It is a pirate sword from Davey X Jones, which is.
Are you sure it's Davey X Jones? Because Drag X Drive is actually drag and drive, and it might just be Davey Jones. People are weird about that.
It might
X.
be Davey and Jones. No. Yeah, the X is an odd one, but they write it in their title, Davey X Jones.
I know.
I don't know.
I know. It's Drag X Drive, but every time Nintendo says it in a presentation, it's drag and drive. Like this, I think I'll take full credit on desaturating a PNG file to make people think we had a sign made. This is just a PNG inside of OBS. I think overall for all the travel, thankfully it wasn't nearly as bad travel for you. You're just swapping an hour. So
it was great. I loved it.
and I immediately jumped into a pretty long review. So I'm a little behind on if I was going to write everything up. But looking at the numbers on XboxEra.com kind of seems worthless.
Yeah, a lot of people don't click and read stuff, but it's not for the wider internet. It's for the people that support us directly.
That's why we talked to you right here. We went over we went over everything on Tuesday. I'm sure we'll do it again with Mr. Deadly Headley on Saturday.
Particularly the Xbox Ally X, which weirdly we've done a whole video preview for.
I kept freaking telling you. You skipped it, John. And then you never went back to it, even though it was the thing on our thumbnail. It's
a really neat handheld device that I can't wait to get more time in with.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, cross those fingers. Anyway, that was a 20-minute preamble of everything we've done.
I've already deleted
self-congratulatory backslapping, and
I've deleted like 6 news stories, and there's still 10 there. So
it's all good. It's all good,
including our lead topic.
Matt Piscatella has descended once again among us mere mortals.
And he was on friend of the show, Jeff Grubb's Game Mess Mornings, going through all of this yesterday. It was a very fun watch.
But he shared July's Circana report on the video game industry. Fair bit of detail in there. I'm going to go through the highlights, and then Jesse will obviously interject with anything you feel is relevant. But EA College Football 26 was the best-selling game of July.
Not as high as last year, which you wouldn't expect. It's not a 15-year thing, but still far and away. Not like even if you included Donkey Kong Bonanza, which was number 3, because EA had both base college football and then college football and Madden bundle were 1 and 2. Even if you had digital for Nintendo, he doesn't think it would be anywhere close because it was so much ahead of everything.
Yeah, it took, and the MVP Sports bundle they did took first and second spot. Donkey Kong Bonanza was 3rd. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 hit 4.
Did amazing.
Black Ops 6 was at 5. Minecraft was at 6. Forza Horizon 5 was at 7. Grounded 2 sweeping in at number 8, followed by Red Dead 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5 at 9 and 10, respectively. Shout outs to Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, which is, outside of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, the only other game to make it into the top 20. Death Stranding 2 was 12 and Spider-Man 2 was 19, respectively. Otherwise, a lot of Microsoft, Bandai Namco, and Take-Two in here, with EA leading the charge.
Broken down some highlights yesterday. One of the big things was Grounded 2, number 1 seller on Steam for the month. Pretty impressive. Xbox had 5 of the top 8 games across both PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. They were 3 of the top 6 and 4 of the top 10 on PlayStation again.
I mean, that's all well and good, but why can't they just leave gaming because they're terrible as a company? /sarcasm.
Yes. For anyone who wonders, we don't bring it up a ton because we're not on that much, but pretty much every time we do, Microsoft, horrible. And if you want to do the BDS boycott of Xbox, 1000% agree and understand. Go for it. The sentiment that Microsoft needs to go away and employees should try and leave. It's like, man, there are over 20,000 people that work here. And there's not that many jobs if Microsoft's gone. Like the Xbox division is propping up so much of gaming in the way we like. Because, the biggest part of gaming is mobile. It's not even close. But the part of gaming we focus on and cover is heavily carried by the Xbox division across multiple platforms. So if they were gone, there's no jobs for those people to go find. They don't exist. John's
not only that, but I feel like a lot of media sites would have much less to talk about week on, week out, and we'd see a hugely detrimental effect. So I understand the anger at Microsoft, the corporation, about some of their decisions.
1,000,000%.
I'm angry at them too, but I also understand that people have a love for this small division within Xbox, and I say small, it's bigger than Windows now.
There was a $24 billion in a year division, but it's like we run into the sentiment where people we know and like and respect still, for some reason, think like Game Pass isn't profitable, like Game Pass is bad. It's like, no, it made $5 billion. There's no way they spent that, and when you see repeat customers, it's not like heroin. Like, repeat customer doesn't mean bad. Repeat customer means this company who only cares about money made money, which is what it's normally supposed to be about.
The thing that I guess I struggle to verbalize, and even now I'm going to risk doing it at the risk of perhaps putting my foot in my mouth or misrepresenting what I mean. But I'm hoping that this is taken as a general musing. But the idea that, you know, and let's pull an example straight out of relevancy. Crystal Dynamics had just announced that they're letting people go. Obviously, they were working on Perfect Dark. 1 + 1 = 2. The likelihood is where that team was there and was working with the initiative, and that IP has ceased being worked on, people are going to get fired, right? And I see all of the Microsoft, you suck. You should just get out gaming. All right, I completely agree. From a pure consumer, I wanted to play that Perfect Dark game. I'm angry that it doesn't exist now. Right? Understood. But now let's step back. If I, as big business company, am paying other company and team to make thing, and thing being made is repeatedly missing the milestones. And look, I'm just giving you perhaps behind the scenes of how game dev works. You have milestones with your publisher that you agree to hit, right? And I'm just speaking generally. We're going to make this game. It's going to take us this many months. We're going to hit these milestones, and we'll be alpha at this point. We'll be content complete at this point. Blah, 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 and each milestone they hit, money gets transferred. And if you start missing milestones, if you have a really, really good publisher, they'll stick with you and they'll keep it alive and they'll work and find a way. But that rope of leniency only stretches so far. And at some point, the business that's paying for the shit has to be like, well, this shit doesn't seem to be getting made, and we're not a charity, and we cut the plug, right? And as much as my heart goes out to developers, and I hate the suits that control this industry, I also, from a business perspective, understand that perspective and understand why games get cancelled. And it seems like, to me personally, there's a lot of games media that just completely disregards. Maybe they weren't doing a good job at working on it. I am not saying the developers deserve to lose their job, but I'm saying that if something's taken 5-6 years and we're no closer to home, can anybody not understand why a game might be cancelled? Rather than just grow anger, let's pick up a pitchfork. Can we not at least be like, yeah, okay, I get it? Again, I'm sure that at some point there's probably going to be a clip of me going, editor-in-chief of Xbox Era blames developers. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to find a balanced view between the two. Nutshell, people should be less emotional about this stuff and try and
I also see the sentiment a few times, like they don't want to make games anymore. I'm like, I don't get. They're making more than anyone. God, they're putting more out than anyone. Like, you might not like them. You might have issues with them. That's perfectly fine. But like, when it comes to actual, what is the future of the industry? There's definitely a segment that will ignore a report like this where they are just absolutely dominating software. Yep, they cratered hard again on hardware. They're down 69% year over year. I think PlayStation was down 47%, and Nintendo Switch was down 52%. Like, hardware was carried heavily by Switch 2, which did its job and sold like crazy to the hardcore audience. Now does that keep happening throughout? Because now Xbox prices have gone up since that month. PlayStation prices just went up. What's the Switch 2 availability going to be like? Probably pretty good. But are the casuals going to spend the extra money it is compared to what the Switch was, especially when they're not putting out many Switch 2 exclusives? Seemingly by design, as we talked about, and more people, Digital Foundry saying, we cannot get Switch 2 dev kits still.
Yep. Yeah, it's very weird.
But like, the future of the industry is so heavily tied to what Xbox is doing. Like, it drives so much, and both gaming and gaming coverage are heavily driven by it. And it's a weird scenario because there's also a lot of us that are really pissed at their parent company, who just fired a couple of people who had stormed into Brad Smith's office and just done a sit down and tried, like, he said they tried hiding phones and shit.
I saw a quote from Brad Smith who was like, if you're doing this and breaking into an office, that's not okay. If you're damaging company, that's not okay. I'm like, nor is the horrific killing of children.
That's fine.
Like, I'm just saying, that's also not okay.
Yeah.
And yet, there's still like, let's roll out.
But one thing can get fixed real quick, but we're in this long thing. Like, it's a balancing act, and I feel like sometimes that is really hard to do. And then the response is, well, I hate this, so I'm just going to attack this, even though attacking this doesn't help the thing you hate. Like, there are real things to hate about Microsoft and even the Xbox division. You don't have to make them up, because if you do make them up, the people who actually know just are going to stop listening to you, because it becomes obvious at that point that it's like, you are on the right side of history, I believe here, but it's so hard to figure out how to go about it. And you see reports like this, and they're making more money than ever. Everyone's making tons of money that are platform holders. It really sucks that the industry and the way it works is, there's still a very good chance at some point in the future there's going to be another big layoff. But what doesn't get reported is that it's super annoyingly cyclical, where it's like, yeah, Microsoft fired, Xbox did not fire. Microsoft, the whole company, let go of over 9,000 people. Horrible. It's a huge number. It sounds terrible, because it is. But their headcount remained the exact same it had been the year before. There was no change, because they had hired 9,000 people throughout the year. Probably super AI focused. And as that AI money starts wearing out, because investors are like, we're not making money back on almost any of this. AI is extremely useful in helping the mundanity of coding and some like medical stuff where it can go through and try and find cancers and whatnot. It has very good, unique, specific uses. And I didn't put it in there, but like there's a report about King being mandated to use AI. And it's like, that's going to die off eventually. They're going to realize it doesn't work. It only costs them money. And what are the job losses going to be like then? That's going to really suck. Yeah. And people are going to be like caught off guard, even though...
I guarantee you, though, those job losses will hit, and because they're AI related, the same games media that's like protect developers, they're going to be like, yeah! And it's like, it's still the people losing their jobs, man. Yeah. Like, let's not celebrate. Let's not celebrate. Yes, let's criticize the boneheaded decisions from $4 trillion Microsoft. Let's celebrate the good ones. But let's not pretend that they're the worst thing in gaming, and that they deserve to completely
If you want to go after Microsoft, go to Satya Nadella's Twitter feed, look at his weird-ass AI's running my life posts, and just mock and laugh at it, because it's so dumb and cringy. You don't have to go nuts about... I mean, you can if you want, but you don't have to go nuts about everything else. Like, there are plenty of real, legit, dumb things around people in that company, and I don't think the things that end up targeting the little people and the developers are going to help in the long run. Like, we look at the numbers. Microsoft's not going anywhere. This Circana report, they're making insane amounts of money. They are far and away the biggest publisher in the sphere of gaming that we cover. They're huge in mobile between Minecraft and King and all that. They're huge on PC. They're enormous on their own, and they're bigger than almost anyone on PlayStation. Like, it is crazy how large they are. And it has been weird to see an industry that refuses to understand that. Like, so much of the industry, and I feel like Matt Piscatella has to come on shows a lot and just talk about how dominant, and I mentioned it a while ago on this show. Like, their plan wasn't, we're going to knock you out and take your thing. It was there will be blood. I am going to drink your milkshake, and you have no friggin' idea it's happening. And they've already done it. They are already in every platform in an enormous way, so much so that they are ridiculously important to those platform holders, who then are finally willing to play ball on stuff. Now, Nintendo's play ball, very different, because it doesn't seem like anyone outside of Bethesda has really gotten dev kits yet. Like, not even Minecraft, which is weird. But Sony is more than happy to play ball right now. They want their margins better. I think they realize we have to keep our hardcore as happy as we can, while completely having shifted 2 years ago, and they're finally realizing it. And it's like, they're an enormous ship. It takes a long time to shift, but they had started it 2 years ago when they had already said they were shifting from console souls to MAUs as their growth metric. You don't do that unless you're not expecting to sell more than you did before. You're hoping to keep up with what you did before, But you go other places like Switch, Switch 2, PC, Xbox Series in the future to get more people to buy the shit that costs a lot to make. And it's these reports every time just show console sales, they're flat. They don't go up anymore. They're still very healthy and they're very important. But the growth is what matters, not just maintaining. You must at least maintain. You must also grow. That's it.
Fun times. So yeah, there you go. That is July's Circana report with a small rant from an Xbox dedicated outlet. Take it as you will. You can ignore us completely.
Not Xbox only.
I think I said Xbox.
You said you said dedicated, but it's like it's not just Xbox. We happen to talk about everything and cover everything. Like a DualShockers reviewing Avowed.
Yeah, but hey, speaking of Xbox, they announced that Xbox insiders can now stream and play in new ways with Xbox Game Pass yesterday. The team are bringing cloud streaming, which is still called Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta.
Yep.
To
it's
Xbox
supposedly leaving
Core.
beta later this year, according to insiders.
Yeah, they're bringing it to Xbox Game Pass Core and Standard subscribers. So they can play and stream games wherever they are.
Yeah.
As part of the insider experience, Xbox Game Pass Core and Standard will be able to stream cloud playable games included with their subscription or select cloud playable games that they already own, which makes it easier to jump in from any supported device. So you can do that from a browser, on your phone. You can do it from your TV, all of that jazz if it supports it, or you can stream if you're on a PC or laptop with the Xbox PC app and your console is either around, or if you're at a hotel or out and about or on Wi-Fi, you can stream some games there too. This is obviously to insiders only. There's obviously a plan in the future to bring that out to all existing core and standard subscribers, but for now it's just in testing while they figure it all out. But again, this is Microsoft. How can we get more people to play more games? Well, let's increase that and change that. And
this
that's
is
a good thing.
The Better Xcloud guy, Red PHX, I think, Red Phoenix, had been looking at and figuring out, like, there's more strings for play. Are there more tiers coming? And I think it just makes sense to add the play your own games to other tiers.
Yeah.
Because they've got the core, and guess what? This is also the value add that could let them drop the multiplayer paywall on consoles at some point. It was like, well, yeah, you don't have to pay for multiplayer anymore, but you'll get cloud with this. Or if you've got the mid-tier, you've got a vault of games, and if they're in cloud, you can play them in the cloud as well as these things you own. It's a lot smarter than trying to introduce even more. I think if they ever did one more, it would probably be an ad-based one for less than the $10 that the Game Pass Core is now. So smart, not always a thing for them on
It's good.
subscription things lately, where they definitely did chop it up and people were a little confused, even though the general consensus is they just want all of you on Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah. Yep, that is true. Elsewhere, GOG.com have called upon
breaking
Xbox
news
gamers
this morning
to start building their DRM-free game libraries on the GOG platform. They've now enabled linking your Xbox account to GOG, so that presumably when devices like the Xbox Ally release come October, Xbox gamers will be able to have games on GOG. They'll be pulled into their Xbox app. They'll be able to play those there. And they've made account linking easier than ever. By actually having a dedicated Xbox account linking process available now. You can go read the details over on xboxera.com. But again, this is the industry coming around to this idea of what if we go where the players are? I find it hard to take a stance against it at this point, considering all the studio closures.
Yeah, for us as consumers, only better. Only a benefit for us. It is. I know it's weird for some people. It's God damn it, Oreo, you can't be there. There is no space. Come here, cutie pie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Elsewhere in excellent news, and speaking of bringing games where the players are, And I love this story because it really cracks me up about how people act like and I won't say who and I won't say where, but let's just say I candidly said, let's say Xbox has 30 million players out there, and an Xbox person made a face as if to say that 30 million. I'm not saying who. I'm not saying they didn't give me any indication.
They're like, we're not even close to that. We're at 2 million.
It's 2 million. But let's say there's 40 million. I don't know. 40 million players out there playing on Xbox. They've made their choice. That's where they want to play on that console. Games that come out elsewhere, they just suck it up and don't play them, right? Helldivers 2 released yesterday alongside with Gears Reloaded, releasing on Tuesday, releasing on PlayStation for the first time. And players on both sides are playing an exclusive that they've not played before. I don't have any player numbers for Gears Reloaded as of yet, but of note is the Helldivers 2 player count. It has skyrocketed, topping 500,000 players yesterday.
While it was only at 167K on Steam, so...
Well, I don't think it was like 160K was like Steam and PlayStation.
Well, no, just the Steam DB.info. It was at 100. It got up to 164, I think, was the highest.
Well, yeah, they're all on and they're all playing.
Yep.
And obviously, there's going to be a huge lion's share of Xbox players in amongst that number. Weird inside baseball. Shams Georgiani, who I think is the CEO of Arrowhead, right? He commented on the Discord, now can everyone stop shitting their pants? 500,049 players. And everyone was like, whoa. But what's weird is I didn't know, because I think Arrowhead have had some change of the guard in terms of who's the CEO recently, like last year or maybe earlier this year.
I think one of the guy went on like hiatus or something. Pilstead.
I pinged an email at Arrowhead and I checked and they replied to me. I was like, hey, I forwarded on your request, cheers. And I said, congrats for launch. I didn't realize it was actually the CEO. So thanks, Shams Rajani, for being a cool dude and actually replying back to an outlet looking to cover your game. Appreciate you. And congrats on the launch, because Helldivers 2, it's a great game. Our review is available. It's done super well. And I love playing it. And it's actually kind of really got me back into it. And yeah, it's nice to have
you gained another 500 views during the show on that review.
Great. Glad to hear it. Keep it going. So congrats to Sony for a really successful launch that perhaps is making or perhaps is dissuading some folks from the notion that A, Xbox players don't buy games because we've all been conditioned not to do that. Don't think that's necessarily true. And B, that exclusives sell consoles, because clearly there's a whole legion of folks who have not bought a console to play Helldivers 2 who are now happily jumping in to what is a genuinely fantastic experience and a great game. Fun times. Next up, you can talk about this one because I think you know more about it than I do. Black Ops 6 skins. People freaking out about them weirdly for some reason when they've been a thing for ages. What's going on? What's
so they had originally announced that Black Ops 6 skins would carry over to Black Ops 7 at the beginning of Season 1. And people got mad because they don't like, especially the Toons skins, which kind of broke the art style and just look like a completely different game because they are more cartoony, cel-shaded in nature. None of those skins will carry over anymore. It's pretty much a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because a lot of the people who are also complaining that they hate the skins are now saying too little, too late, because Outrage sells. But for the most part, I think it's fine. Those skins still work in like Warzone and other modes and shit. So I don't know. I never buy them, so I don't feel that personally attached, but I do understand if you bought a lot and were expecting them to carry over after the original announcement, you should rightfully be very upset that they are not. But I think for quite a few of us, it's not much of a story because we didn't buy them to begin with. That's about it.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Next up, do you know what really bugs me about this? I reported on this before most outlets had even picked it up, and I manually typed out all the quotes, which I know for a fact, some people have just blatantly copy and pasted from our article and pasted it into their own at much bigger outlets than me. But whatevs. Bethesda released a developer spotlight and just by pure coincidence teased some new Starfield updates. Nutshell on this one. Every now and then they do these developer spotlights, and this time the focus was on Starfield's lead creative producer, a chap called Timothy Lamb, who has been with Bethesda since Oblivion, all the way back in 2006. He talks us through his life at the studio and the things he's worked on and some of the anecdotes, etc., etc. But then he talks a little bit about Starfield and what it was like to build it. And I'll read out some of the quotes that I painstakingly transcribed. It does so many of the things that these other games do, but like 4 times as much in a way. Like everything is what we did before, plus more fidelity, more complexity. To me, Starfield was like making 4 games. You have your I'm running around shooting aliens and space guys. You have your I'm flying around in a spaceship shooting other spaceships. You have the ship builder game. You have the outpost game. Starfield to me was like making 4 games at once. And it's the next part where he kind of triggers some interest for Starfield fans who are eager to kind of see what's next for their space RPG. Tim says, I think as it comes to Starfield, I'm really excited for players to see what the teams have been working on. We have some cool stuff coming, including free updates and features players have been asking for, as well as a new DLC story. I think that's going to be Starborn, right? Judging by copyright names.
That's the only one we know.
I can't go into all the details just yet, but I will say part of the team has been focused on space gameplay to make the travels there more rewarding. We are also adding some new game systems and a few other smaller delights. There's also some really interesting stuff coming down the pipe from our verified creators. There's some fun stuff. Now, we reported earlier this month that Redditors had found code via data mining that suggests the arrival of cruising in the game, which seems to be a new reference.
Yep.
In the
So
code
when you're feeling a little horny and you're a guy and you just start driving around your top. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the Al Pacino movie.
Yeah, wrong kind of cruising. But yeah, this is basically suggesting that there'll be real-time space travel of sorts. Think Elite Dangerous. Again, that's pure conjecture from me. Nothing has been announced. And as Tim says, can't go into all the details. Space gameplay, making the travels there more rewarding has been the focus. So we'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good tease. Looking forward to seeing what they bring to Starfield. Will it still get everybody raging such a hate boner? I have no idea. But yeah. Last couple of news stories now. This one is I'm delighted about. I cannot wait for this game. I'm going to be reviewing this. You have my word. Jump Ship, the artist formerly known as Jump Space, is launching on September 19th into early access and game preview. So that's Steam and Xbox. Nowhere else. This is a 4-player cooperative spaceship based first-person shooter where you're PvE, purely PvE. There's no PvP. And you're building and working on your spaceship together, maintaining it, going out, getting supplies, working your way through the world. I played the demo of this back during Steam Next Fest. I fucking loved it. And I just can't wait to play more. It's coming September 19th. I'm not particularly pleased at yet. It's another game that we're going to have to somehow manage to do in September. It is early
access.
Early access.
I'm over early access.
I'm doing this. I get it.
None of that.
I get it.
Dead to me.
I get being over it. Yeah.
The Rogue Prince of Persia devs talked about it. They're like, you probably shouldn't do early access unless your game is 90% done, because people will treat it as your game launch. Yeah, they just will.
I think that is true. But what I have played of Jump Ship is already extremely polished, and I really love the concept. I kind of look at it as Sea of Thieves in space, but without other players. But they've made a really intriguing world, and the weird ability to fly your ship while your crew are running around up on top of it, jetpacking off to get resources, fighting in space battles. It feels cool as fuck. And I think it's gorgeous as well. And it just goes to show how good some smaller studios, I think they're like a 25-man team, or person team, I should say. So yeah, I will be bringing my thoughts as soon as I'm allowed to, if they will supply us with early code so that we can be there on launch day for the game preview, Xbox and Steam Early Access version. Next one's all for you, Jesse. Another thing to review in September.
Not going to have any time to cover this. Didn't cover the first one. But Atomfall has the Red Strain DLC coming. I have absolutely no idea what it is.
Yeah, they just released a little teaser. It's coming September 16th, I think.
Yeah, there's no chance in hell I'd have any ability to actually review that.
Yeah,
just
I read the description and it's, it is a tease right now. It's called Atomfall: The Red Strain. It's a story piece of DLC. It is not included in Game Pass, but the base game is. So if you've played it there, I think they got 1 million players within their first weekend of release. But they also released Atomfall on everything: Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Game Pass. So kudos to Rebellion for keeping that story train going.
Looks like a mean robot with a brain in it.
Does look like a mean robot with a brain in it. But you'll be able to play that on September 16th. Yay. And then last but not least, the last piece of news is PlayStation Plus. Their monthly games for September have been announced. And there's some great ones in here. Psychonauts 2, Stardew Valley, and Viewfinder headline the list with Psychonauts 2, Stardew Valley, Viewfinder, and I think that's it. That is it. Yeah, that's it. That's the list.
Yeah, so these are the ones they give you to own as long as you have the service, and then later they'll announce the Vault editions that are just in there for a set period of time. Psychonauts 2 amazing, Stardew Valley amazing. Neither of them very expensive. Viewfinder good. None of these are very expensive, and I think that always ends up tying into because I saw some people upset. The quality of games I think is extremely high. The price of them is not. But I mean, if you didn't have them already and you weren't going to buy them, then it's a solid month.
Yeah.
If you're into them.
Yep. If you're into them. Viewfinder is great. I reviewed the Xbox version. Lovely indie game.
We reviewed all of these games. Clobberl did our review for Psychonauts 2. Amanda reviewed Stardew Valley, and I did the video for her. Gave it a 9.5. Probably should have been a 10. And Viewfinder, you just did for the Xbox version. We do a lot of reviews.
Do you know why? Because we actually try and play games. And again, I'm going to keep underlining this fact. Xbox era, for fans of Xbox, run by people who actually play on the platform. I feel like that's an important differentiator in this day and age. Where do you play? We play on Xbox a lot of the time. Now, granted, you could argue, what the hell is me playing on Xbox? An actual console? Yes. Wherever we can.
I'm reviewing Chronos on PC because Xbox code's not ready.
He's just ruined that whole marketing spiel.
Well, it's because
absolutely
people will always yell, how come you didn't review this on Xbox? It's like, because code wasn't available until launch. So if you didn't want the review, I could wait on Xbox code and then never touch it because there's too many other games coming out. And if we're not at the embargo, there's no point for us.
Yeah, it's true. There's a balancing act between being media and wanting to cover things. But yeah, there you go. That's all the news, boys and girls, friends. We hit 30,000 subs. That's pretty great. Next milestone probably going to have to be 50. Or
we'll see you in 12 years.
Yeah, right. It's 6 years to get to this far. I don't know. I feel like I think we're gonna do more shorts. Like, we've had a good experiment with shorts. I feel like if we just take the reviews and content that we make and make a quick short.
And if we talk like this while we're doing the shorts, I am going to clearly enunciate, and everything I say will come up as one big bright letter of word things on screen. Hey, how's it going, YouTube fam?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to use AI for that.
Remember to like and subscribe.
No, that bugs me. But
like and subscribe, human.
The general YouTuber voice. Welcome to the Xbox Era review for Dead Space.
Hey guys,
nah.
It's always hey guys, because guys is.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Yeah, I can't do it. Sorry. Anyway, we're fun, honestly. We're nice people, I promise. We will be back on Saturday for the Xbox Era podcast with myself, Jesse, and the lovely, deadly Headley. Until then, you know what to do. There's a ton of amazing video games to play. Go play them.
Or a ton of amazing
yourselves.
previews to go read and watch. And
also,
reviews.
Go click all
Jesus
of our things.
Christ.
Yeah.
I've never seen our forum featured rotate so fast. Because every time we have a big thing, we put it up on the forum as a featured thing, and it shows up, and then she always that sleepy.
She is. She's found. I put my bag down here, my traveling bag, and it's black. And as she is mostly white, she says, "Well, if I fits, I sits." And now the bag is also mostly white, thanks to the molting. But she's also a sleepy girl, aren't you? You're so pretty. We're a very cat-focused outlet as well. Like we love dogs.
Dog over there.
Yeah, all the room for the dogs, but the cats happily come up onto the camera and just generally.
I could 1,000,000% get Savannah to come over here, but then I'd be covered in dog fur.
And if you love Pumpkin, hit like and subscribe, because otherwise you will make her cry. Don't make my cat cry.
Well, she cries pumpkin spice lattes, so that's why everyone keeps doing it.
She is super cute, though. I love this cat.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's headlines.
Yeah. That's headlines, baby. We'll be back. See you next time. Ciao for now.
Goodbye.